Hello, you're listening to The Morning Five. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Today is Tuesday, February 17th. Let's begin with a passage from Matthew 6. Beware practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. And your Father, who sees in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you pray, go into your room, shut the door, and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. May God bless the reading of His Word. Well, friends, thanks for joining us for the Morning Five today. Hope you had a great long weekend, great President's Day. Let's get to today's news highlights. First, you're not imagining it. Prices are up since the start of the year, according to a new report in the Wall Street Journal. From items like blue jeans to housewares to groceries, products are becoming more expensive. While companies often raise prices at the beginning of the new year, these increases appeared to be stronger than normal for January for electronics, appliances, and other durable goods, according to the Wall Street Journal. Companies are blaming tariffs, wage increases, and high health insurance costs for their moves to raise prices. I'll read briefly from the Journal report. Prices on the most affordable imported goods are up by 2.3% since dipping at the end of November. The Adobe Digital Price Index found that online prices posted their largest monthly increase in a dozen years in January, driven by higher prices for electronics, computers, appliances, furniture, and bedding. Next up, President Donald Trump is mobilizing the federal government to respond to a sewer spill that has polluted the Potomac River in recent weeks, dumping more than 200 million gallons of raw sewage into the river. He wrote Monday that he is, quote, directing federal authorities to immediately provide all necessary management, direction, and coordination to protect the Potomac, the water supply in the capital region, and our treasured national resources in our nation's capital city. Local officials have rerouted the sewage into the sewer system, though they estimate it could take almost a year to fix the broken pipe at the heart of the leak. Last up, as of last night, the United States had won 6 gold medals and 19 medals total in the Winter Olympics. Norway is leading in the medal count, with Norwegian athletes having won 12 gold medals of 28 total as of yesterday. The Olympics are scheduled to continue throughout the week. All right, with that, today we're not going to have a deep dive news story. Instead, want to do something a bit different. As longtime listeners will know, we sometimes do. And today I want to read an excerpt from George Washington's farewell address. Yesterday, of course, was President's Day, and President Washington's birthday is coming up on February 22nd. Each year, a senator reads this speech out loud in the Senate chamber in honor of President Washington. I'll read a portion of this address in which Washington warns against a spirit of division. This spirit, unfortunately, is inseparable from our nature, having its root in the strongest passions of the human mind. It exists under different shapes in all governments, more or less stifled, controlled, or repressed. But in those of the popular form, it is seen in its greatest rankness and is truly their worst enemy. The alternate domination of one faction over another, sharpened by the spirit of revenge natural to party dissension, which in different ages and countries has perpetrated the most horrid enormities, is itself a frightful despotism. But this leads at length to a more formal and permanent despotism. The disorders and miseries which result gradually incline the minds of men to seek security and repose in the absolute power of an individual. And sooner or later, the chief of some prevailing faction, more able or more fortunate than his competitors, turns this disposition to the purposes of his own elevation on the ruins of public liberty. Without looking forward to an extremity of this kind, which nevertheless ought not be entirely out of sight, the common and continual mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and the duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. It serves always to distract the public councils and enfeeble the public administration. It agitates the community with ill-founded jealousies and false alarms, kindles the animosity of one part against another, foments occasionally riot and insurrection. It opens the door to foreign influence and corruption, which find a facilitated access to the government itself through the channels of party passions. Thus, the policy and the will of one country are subjected to the policy and will of another. There is an opinion that parties in free countries are useful checks upon the administration of the government and serve to keep alive the spirit of liberty. This, within certain limits, is probably true, and in governments of a monarchical caste, patriotism may look with indulgence, if not with favor, upon the spirit of party. But in those of the popular character, in governments purely elective, it is a spirit not to be encouraged. From their natural tendency, it is certain there will always be enough of that spirit for every salutary purpose. And there being constant danger of excess, the effort ought to be, by force of public opinion, to mitigate and assuage it. A fire not to be quenched, it demands a uniform vigilance to prevent its bursting into a flame, lest instead of warming, it should consume. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today, and forgive us our sins and impositions on you, as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge and you have all the power, and the glory, too, is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. As always, the Morning Five is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. Hope you have a terrific Tuesday.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.